Good day. This is Jonaline L. Ragudo from BS Ed English 1. My assigned topic is the socio-emotional development of high school learners. Social emotions. Social emotions start to emerge as early as toddler years, 15 to 24 months, comprised by such feeling as envy, embarrassment, shame, guilt, and pride. Observable emotions during these years may not be accurate, but they can be a problem if not controlled. Social emotional. By the age of 1 to 2 years, the social emotions of the baby will slowly be visible or appear, such as jealousy of toys and stuff that other baby has or even anyone or anything that they wanted to have. The baby will also felt shame when they are being laughed when they try to try when they try something and then ended up wrong. The emotions during that age may not be accurate or right, but it will be a bigger problem if it was not controlled because into they were able to bring it until their adolescence life. Even among early learners, emotions affect learning since learners pay more attention to the things with emotional significance. In learning, the student pay more attention and relate to the lesson whenever it's meaningful to the students. Emotions play an important role whenever recalling a lesson because the learners were able to remember every single details of the past discussion that has the strong experiences. So by the moment that learners' emotional competence is developed, they receive the capability of controlling or maintaining emotions and understand the emotions of others. Social changes in adolescence. You will notice in the way your child interacts with family, friends, and peers. It is during high school that the adolescents are making transition between childhood and adulthood. Their social understanding of the world is changing and processing. During high school life, different emotions will be visible at that point of time. It will be a bigger problem if a learner were not able to manage and deal with it. In adolescent stage, there is a transition between the childhood and adulthood. Example for this is adolescents spend less time with parents or families and focus more on their peers. So it is very observable kind of changes or transitions to every adolescent that when they were still young and when they were still on the stage of childhood, they used to be with their families or their parents. But when they turn into a adolescence or that adulthood, they used to spend their times with their peers. From making friends, dealing with disagreement, the ability to interact successful with others is incredibly important to children with strong social skills because they find it more easier to establish good relationships and with positive impact of a human being.
Stereotypes of gender differences. The first one is social. Boys has the self-sufficient, which means that they are independent when it comes to emotional and mental. Self-esteem is that boys never feel coward of trying new things and taking healthy risks and they solve problem on their own. So at that point of time, their learning and development will be productive. Girls are help seeking, that is, they always ask, especially in fashion, when they dress up for a celebration or just a normal they always ask a friend or someone that does it look good with them, does it fit to them, or does it do it, do they like this better, or which one should be the one to be better for him, or I mean for her. And another one is congeniality. It is being friend with her common interest. So if a girl likes watching K-drama, they often spend her time to the friend of her that watches K-drama too, because they always interested to talk about, to share about K-drama. The last one is sociability. Sociability is the quality of being sociable. So the example for this is during our on the past September 21, 2022, we have our dry run at Norso Shatan campus. So I observed that mostly girls do the first move of creating a communication to the other students. So at that point, girls are very sociable. In education, boys do better in mathematics than girls. It's because boys feel more confident and have more positive outlook of solving mathematical problem. The evidence that boys mostly excel in mathematics is that most mathematicians are boys. The some mathematicians, they are Pythagoras, who has the Pythagorean theorem, and he is also a Greek philosopher that known as the father of numbers. Another example is that Isaac Newton. He is the greater contribution of him is the discovery of fundamental theorem of calculus. So, on the other hand, girls are better in verbal skills than boys because boys often to speak and choose to remain silent at the corner than girls who always try to open up a conversation. So for the last one in stereotypes of gender differences in family, the first one is in boys. Boys engages themselves with activities. So the situation for this example is that boys, whenever there is something, tasks or there is something to do at home or even anywhere, in just in the side of the family, boys always volunteer themselves to do it or to perform the task. Another one is that autonomy over children. So they never let their parents or their mom anymore to dress them up. Instead, they they let themselves to put their shoes and dressing themselves. So at that point of time, they are practicing and developing confidence, self-esteem, and they are being practicing of the being independent. Girls is that closeness, closeness to the parents that build trust and respect. So mostly girls are close to their parents because they always they're close because they share of thoughts to their parents. The another one is openness. Openness can lessen the chances of the learner of confusion and anxiety because they tend to open up their problem to their parents and talk about it and can make them feel better. So when a girl trying to speak out to their parents, the problem might be lessened or they they will be the less chances of experiencing anxiety or depression because they were able to express their thoughts and opinions.
Developing self esteem. Self esteem means appreciation of oneself or self love. Potential endowment can be developed to a great extent through family formation, school education, and social influence. The personal attitude and will to grow depends on the individual. Popularity and external appearance, self appreciation, self reliance, autonomy, energy, courage, and internal positive motivators. Self esteem or pagpapahalaga is the appreciating oneself in different situations or the self love. During high school, we encounter different people that we share of with common interests and even end up of deep relationship. Once the relationship we created will failed and won't last long, you felt different and mixed emotions and questions that could overthink you so much. It comes to the process for you to get over. But the moment you realize why crying, why worrying so much, and acceptance and everything and learn to develop self esteem. You were already healed and that you pay more attention to your own happiness and you are more compassionate and confident and that where self love develop. Potential endowment means the capacity of becoming or developing into something. Family formation we belong influence the extent of our development whether we grow well emotionally and mentally. School education that we rely to help us shape and develop from all aspects of learning, we enhance, influence our potential endowment. Social influence also influence the extent of our development on how we adjust to the kind of environment we belong. The way we look out to our self-esteem define us the environment we live to. In developing self esteem, our personal attitude or mental dispositions and our willingness to be developed into a better individual of our version before depending on ourselves if we allow to grow and develop. It's on how we respond to every current experiences and situations and believing ourselves that we are able to handle it and face it well. Popularity and external appearance help us developing self-importance on how we react the people's thoughts toward you. Self-appreciation after all helps develop our self-esteem because we reflect on the obstacles we've encountered and we also reflect to our strengths and that you can build confidence. Self reliance is relying and trusting yourself that you believe of being successful in encountering your struggles. Courage will help us changes on every action we choose to make an attitude that will allow us to feel more confident. Internal positive motivator is no other than ourselves. We must need to be independent on facing fears and productive on responding challenges and if we believe and trust ourselves every time at that point of time your self-esteem is officially being developed.
The adolescents and social media. Findings indicate that electronic communication negatively affects adolescent social development. As face to face communication is replaced, social skills are impaired, sometimes leading to unsafe interaction with those who use social media to exploit others financially and sexually. Adolescents and social media. In our world today, media plays a wide role to every individual. In fact, it even makes our life easier than before with the use of media. The adolescent has easy access to the different social media, inclusive of computers, cell phone, video games, FM radio, and cable television. Almost all homes today has television and almost all adolescent nowadays has the access to the internet. The total usage of media is continuously increasing. Even adolescents has the highest rate of using media as video games, texting social, texting social networking through Facebook, mobile communications, and virtual reality games. Researchers infer that electronic communication negatively affects adolescent social development. As the communication through face to face is replaced by media, the communication skills is leading to unsafe interaction and stop the development on enhancing communication skills. Girls are more competent on communicating and socializing through media than boys mostly socialize themselves in internet cafes has lower academic work and achievement.
Implication to adolescent care, education, and parenting. The overall implication is that emotional skills influence the adolescent learner's success in classwork. Learners who are able to regulate their emotions tend to be happier, better liked, and better able to pay attention and learn. The overall summarization is that emotional skills has great impact to the adolescent's learner success in classwork. For those learners that were able to control and manage their emotions, they tend to be happier and better able to pay attention and learn effectively. The teachers plays a significant role in enhancing positive changes for the adolescents because whenever something is wrong to their learners, they conduct interventions or mangingaalam to the situations assisting the learners and promoting positive development among the adolescents. This brings me to the end of my reporting about the socio-emotional development of the high school learners. Thank you for listening and have a nice day ahead.